Debating if I, 28F, should save my marriage with my husband, 32M. My husband cheated 6 years ago and it took a lot of work to fix our relationship and to build trust again. I thought we broke down barriers and that we had no secrets. We got married last year and about a few weeks ago I went through his phone and discovered he had a second number. After looking into it I found he had been using the second number to contact out-of-state hookers. My husband doesn't go out of state and is always home. And I don't believe he's ever met up with any of them because when I searched the numbers I confirmed through their online ads that they were all located out of state. But still, this was extremely upsetting to find and honestly feels like the last straw. I confronted my husband about it and he became extremely embarrassed. I know he has a high sex drive. He explained that it was embarrassing for him to admit, but sometimes when he is masturbating he likes calling hookers to help him come. Apparently porn gets boring and this was something new he found that he liked. He reaffirmed that he never met with anyone. But even so I can't help but look at him differently. I want out of this relationship. I told him I don't look at him the same. I feel cold towards him. I feel like our entire relationship is a lie and I don't even know him. It's been a few weeks since that incident and I can tell my husband is trying significant other hard to fix our relationship again, but I can't help but feel empty. I don't want to try anymore. I feel like, what's the point? I don't feel like I have anything else left in me to give to this relationship. I gave it my all and to find this out the way I did was my tipping point. A part of me feels bad. Feels like I should give him the respect as my husband to at least try to move past this and make it work. But the other part of me just wants to leave. I had back-to-back cheating dreams about him last night and I woke up feeling so sad about my relationship and what it's become. I just want to leave. Am I wrong for feeling this way? Does anyone have any advice for me? I guess I'm torn between deciding if I should still put the last effort in making my marriage work or if I should just give up and finally focus on myself. Too long did not read. Exclamation mark. Found my husband's second number and that he's been calling hookers. Feels like I should give him the respect as my husband to at least try to move past this and make it work. You owe him nothing at this point. He most certainly did not give you the respect as his wife when he used sex workers for his sexual gratification. This is disrespectful in the extreme, before even taking into account that he is spending joint money on this sleazy pursuit. Feels like I should give him the respect as my husband to at least try to move past this and make it work. You already did this once 6 years ago. How did that work out? Dump his ass and stop wasting time and energy. He's found a therapist for himself. He should have done that 6 years ago. He's only trying to fix this because he got caught again. Throw him away like nasty garbage because that's what he is. 2 things, first he's been actively hiding this from you, and second he is wasting these women's time as a power kink when he could just pay a phone sex operator if he had no intention of actually seeing someone in person and wanted a tailored porn experience. It sounds like you already put a lot of work into this op. You established what your boundaries were, gave him a more than fair chance, and he blew it. I vote no. Time to cut losses and leave him. This is hard proof that he has no intention of adhering to the boundaries that you consider fidelity. This was sneaky, dishonest boundary stomping and you know it. He did as much as he thought he could get away with. EW to that. Sounds like a sex addiction. He should probably seek help. You may want to get out before you're any more invested. He needs to straighten himself out. What will he do next when calling sex workers no longer helps to get him off? He's showing you that he'll escalate his behavior and hide it from you. This will only get worse without addiction treatment on his part. If he's not admitting he has some sort of addiction and recognizing he needs help, it doesn't matter how much other work he's doing in other areas of the relationship, he'll backslide and eventually escalate to who knows what to get off. Phone calls won't be enough soon though. Spectre_ums law. If you have to post about it in our relationships, then the answer is no, don't end it, or it's over. It sounds like your emotional side, attachment, is grasping for any possible reason, argument to overrule or counter your rational sensible reaction. But if you need a reason, do you really want to wake up every day for the rest of your life with this chronic uncomfortable unease? The ulcer you'll have before you're 45 will tell you the same thing after you've wasted a decade or more coping with this. I don't think you are wrong at all. This is a normal reaction to something like this. I can't tell you what you need to do with your marriage, but I do feel like this was something your husband should have discussed with you for transparency, and so situations like this wouldn't happen. I would seek some individual counseling, and if you feel you have to leave, I don't blame you at all. Ouch. It was embarrassing for him to admit, but sometimes when he is masturbating he likes calling hookers to help him come. Apparently porn gets boring and this was something new he found that he liked. Maybe go to counseling, but IDK, this is a huge betrayal and I would say if it crossed a line for you to leave. You aren't the one who needs to do the work. He cheated and betrayed you. You owe him nothing. People don't change, we are creatures of habit. Even if we change there are strong tendencies to return to old habits. And #X200B. Yes, some people do change, but in this case, he has betrayed your trust multiple times. Leave him, not only as someone else said. There's no turning back after resentment. He was hiding a phone bill and obviously a credit card from you. Hookers don't talk for free. You're young, move on and pick up the pieces, but not any of his crappy pieces. Your husband is paying sex workers to help him get off. It doesn't matter that he hasn't actually met with them in person. Yet. This is absolutely, 100%, cheating. Again, don't stay until you're knocked up with an STD because he hid that he started putting his dick in hookers. Leave now, before leaving is more complicated than it needs to be. It sounds like you're already out of this relationship, official or not. The trust has been broken, particularly since you found out on your own. Maybe if he had told you, you could have come to an agreement to work with his higher drive, but it's also possible, and totally valid, that any form of sexual contact, even over the phone, with another person is a deal breaker for you. It sounds like you need different things out of your relationships, and that you actually just don't want to be with him anymore. Forcing it will only hurt both of you. I think you could peruse some Esther Perel videos and content to help you understand this better. Not saying it will necessarily save anything, it could be helpful to your understanding, I think. I'm sorry, but no. Even if they are out of state, contacting sex workers is a line that cannot be crossed. That is a built-in deal breaker, because one can only assume that the states are getting closer and closer together. You can do better. I think you would be setting yourself up for more hurt and heartbreak if you stay with him and hope for things to get better. I'd suggest leaving him, or at least separating so you have time to heal and realize how cruel he's been to you. My husband cheated. I ain't reading the rest, no, it ain't worth it. I did read a little, so I'm just gonna point out, he would have asked you for permission before doing this, if his intentions were genuine, but he didn't and he was already on the thinnest ice possible, so no, you can find better. Leave him and find yourself a real man who won't commit adultery. He is a sorry excuse of a husband, and by you staying with him, you're just enabling his behavior. You are lucky you found out before he went and met up with one of them, but that doesn't change what he did do. Leave before he has the opportunity to do worse. No man that deserves a wife would do this behind her back. It's up to you to leave. But just know it's way worse out here in this hookup culture. Most women are dying alone. Dogs are their only hope. Google chump lady for a whole bunch of resources and articles. There are a lot of people there describing what they went through with their cheating partners. See if anything resonates. I think the fact that he cannot stop lying to you makes it not worth to stay. You tried, you did a lot of emotional work to mend the relationship. And he still doesn't get that he hurt you and continues to hurt you. What more do you have to say to him? Have you spoken with him about it? When people act like this, it often means that something is missing. It's not your fault if you didn't know he felt like something was inadequate. Only you can decide if you want to attempt to salvage the relationship. If you do, then communicating with him about why he's doing this and what's missing is a good start. And please don't listen to all these people whose instant reaction is to just get rid of him. It's easy for them to say when it's not their lives. This is out of Reddit's pay grade. See a couples therapist. Don't listen to the advices here. It sounds like you've already checked out of the marriage, and that's understandable. Continuing does sound pointless. Will you ever be able to trust him again? I believe it's time for you to move on based on the fact that you'd end up doing a disservice to yourself and as well as him. Your emotions aren't there anymore. It's an uphill battle at this point. It's gonna bring forth a lot of trauma, pain, etc. He messed up 2 times in ways that pushed you away from him. I'm a mindset coach and I have a TikTok community at Trey Kosa. So if you want more free advice, tips, relatable emotional posts, feel free to check it out and help yourself. I'm giving the best advice I can based on the information given. Hope all goes well for you. Nope. He was lucky you were kind enough to give him a second chance after he cheated. He obviously cannot be trusted. You said it yourself, you want out of the marriage. What he wants is irrelevant. He doesn't care about your feelings, don't worry about his. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Don't let it get to thrice. Respect as your husband. A. Respect is earned, and B. Respect is a two-way street. The complete vacuum of respect that your husband has for you makes me want to full-body cringe. Get out of this. Life can be so much better than you're living it. All you have to do is find a husband that at least meets the minimum standard of not a total scumbag. Yours misses that mark, and when you end up with a human being that exceeds the not a total scumbag threshold, you're gonna be blown away. I don't even need to read your post. Third word says it all. What are you doing? Get away from this loser. There is nothing anyone needs to hear. Go. You need to do whatever you need to do to cut off 100% contact and consider this man dead to you. This would be an immediate deal breaker for me. It's just too much. A whole other number he was hiding from you. Hookers? No. Just no. Porn I could deal with. Real life people and a whole secret life? No. I'm so sorry you are going through this. Once you hit resentment, it's too late. Walk away so you and him can both find peace. I once talked to my therapist about infidelity being a boundary in my relationship, and she rattled off like 7 types of infidelity. She said really the only type that a relationship cannot ever recover from is when it is repetitive and pathological. She said if it continues, it erodes the monogamous partner so much over time, there is just no bouncing back after that in the relationship. If he's a repeat offender and using prostitutes, it sounds pretty pathological. Prostitutes are not phone sex operators. If he's calling them, he's meeting them. Prostitutes travel. All he needs is 15 minutes on the way to work to detour to the local motel where he's arranged to meet them. I'd end it. He's broken your trust too many times, and he's definitely still lying to you now. You should know that out-of-state escorts will go on tour to other places. Being out of state doesn't necessarily mean he didn't meet them. I'm sorry you're going through this. Please leave your sorry ass of a husband. Trying to make it work is not inherently better and healthier than quitting. Sometimes the mature thing to do is to understand your limits. If you want to leave, then you should leave and not feel guilty about it. Throw the whole man away. You're young, find someone who deserves you. He's paying these women for sex work whether it is physical or not. After looking into it, I found he had been using the second number to contact out-of-state hookers. This isn't salvageable. I only had to read this far. Get your ducks in a row, save the evidence if you can, and file for divorce. Whilst you're getting the ball rolling with that, you also need to get yourself tested for every STD under the sun. Leave. Red heart. The energy it will take you to heal and move on is a fraction of the energy you've already put into this falling marriage. Save your energy for people who deserve it. Good luck to you, whatever you decide. Of course, you're not wrong for feeling this way. Your feelings are your feelings. It's very clear from your post that you want out of the relationship, and that's totally justified. You don't owe him another chance yet again. Even if you could work through this, it's clear your heart isn't really in it anymore. Cheaters cheat. You can't ever trust this guy. How many times does he need to cheat for you to accept he's a cheater? Yes, absolutely, you should leave. You've wasted your hot 20s on this loser. Get out here and find something better. Once a cheater, always a cheater, as they say, for good reason. Feels like I should give him the respect as my husband to at least try to move past this and make it work. So he can bang more hookers. I don't get it. I don't want to try anymore. I feel like, what's the point? Listen to yourself then. Well, the reason you feel cold is because your stupid husband took a big fucking player knife and shoved it right through your love. He killed it. So now he has to live with the fact it's dead, while you leave to find better things. Please do. Bye, girl. It's time to go, lol hookers. Imagine if Yal were old. He's gonna be one of those old creeps. So he's wasting your time and the hookers. What a sleaze. Brother, if you're debating this, then it's already game over.